Richie Riches, could you have transitioned your track or sprint speed into NFL receiver if you had all the time to dedicate training for football? I think that's a two-part answer because I coach. I know this is for Justin, but I coach football athletes and track athletes. I think there are two parts. I think you have good football athletes that can run track, and then you got track runners that try to play football, right? The good football players that run track end up being really good at track, but they could catch and they could do everything that a football still does. Hence Tariq Hill, right? He's really good at track, or he was very good at track, but he was a football player that ran track. You know what I mean? So that's the difference. And then you have track runners that try to play football because they're fast. What makes a good football player to me, and which I've seen from analyzing it from doing speed and agility, is a football player that could stop and start so quickly on a dime. You know what I mean? No doggone dime. They're going to stop and they're going to fall out of their route and everything to the side. But I think if trained, if Justin had the right coach in the NFL or college who could come and retool his speed, because a lot of people won't believe it. He's ran 4 flat before in the 40. They would have to retool that type of speed to stop on a dime and to cut and everything else. So, or they just would have to put him on a bunch of go routes.
As soon as I would come onto the field, they knew exactly what was about to happen.
Exactly. I mean, it's like
9 ball coming down.
Yeah, but you got to have a DB or a safety who could stop it though.
Exactly. But so I would say that it comes down to also like muscle structure. Because what happens is that you watch football players, they train different, they lift different than track athletes. They kind of require those dense muscles because of the pounding and the beating that they're going to get on the football field. And they're trying to balance that dense muscles with also the speed that they do have. So now they got to carry more weight, right? So, and I'm taking this for an example of watching Jeff. When Jeff Demps was running track and playing football, we would go to track meets together and we would be roommates. And he literally would foam roll all night long. He would be rolling on a tennis ball or a softball, trying to get his muscles loose because his muscles and his muscle memory was about denseness. That's all they knew at that point in time because it just came from football. So he had to make sure he loosened his muscles up so he wouldn't pull anything or strain anything while he's trying to accelerate. So I think that's also one thing you have to take into consideration is it's not just pure speed that goes out on the football field. It's not just pure speed that goes out onto the track. You got to prepare your muscles and your body structure for, like you said, stopping on a dime, turning, moving, or either just linear speed going straight forward, but you're reaching speeds that's going to be faster, clearly, than just an average football player or even an elite football player. I tell my football athletes that I train all the time, I was like, look, bro, like, I'm sorry. Y'all not cheetahs. Y'all are gazelles. And they look at me crazy like, you disrespecting me, dog? Hold on, man, I'm pretty fast. I was like, no, you got to look at the situation. A gazelle, if you watch Natural Geographics, a gazelle can run at top speed and then turn on a dime. Who's chasing a gazelle? A cheetah. Now, a cheetah has more superior speed. If it was just a straight race, it could catch a gazelle all day long. But the fact is, it had to evolve to be able to turn and maneuver its speed to keep up with a gazelle because of those sharp turns and those angles. So I look at it as football players as gazelles, track athletes are cheetahs.
I think that's a great analysis. I think another analysis is, man, the way that you say they have to lift. You know, football players have to flip their hips in almost every direction. Track runners, we don't. That's why we lift differently. We lift in a linear motion. Football players don't. They don't. They have to turn their hips and make obtuse angles to make different type of movements. So we definitely, muscle memory and what they require is a lot different from a football player. But I like that gazelle cheetah thing. I'm stealing that.